Happy heartwarming! This year I got freckles! Needless to say, the Twilight Sparkle tariffs really hit us hard. So about 2 months ago, I uploaded the video, What If My Little Pony Was for Adults? This video hypothesized a potential reimagining of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, but built around Hasbro's mature Energon Universe comics. I recommend checking out that video before you watch this one, as it gives you a lot of much needed context. And you guys seem to respond to that video so well, I decided to do a part 2. I have 5 new characters to go through, and if this video does well enough, I might do a part 3, so put your recommended characters in the comments below. I didn't want to do this season by season because that would be really boring on my end, so I'm just doing the characters that I think would be the most interesting. Starting with a character I only briefly talked about in my first video, Spike. As a quick refresher, Spike acts as Twilight's surrogate son, and my explanation was more for Twilight's character rather than Spike's. So with this new parental role for Twilight, how does this change Spike as a character? Well, for starters, I think it would significantly change Spike's goal. I can imagine that Spike would desperately want to have a sense of belonging amongst other ponies. I mean, think back to other characters his age like the CMC. His interactions with them feels way different. Despite being a baby dragon that is roughly supposed to be around their age, he doesn't really seem in tune with them. Maybe in this version, Spike feels some sort of shame about that. Shame about being a dragon. He masks himself in order to try to be as close to a pony as he could possibly be. But to him, it's never enough. He needs to feel more normal. He is unable to accept himself. He tries to seek out a father figure, something absent in his life and something he thinks normal ponies his age would have. He tries to fall in love with Rarity, not because he's actually infatuated with her, but because he thinks he's supposed to. It's just what is expected of him, right? That's what he's supposed to be attracted to. It's a pretty sad reinterpretation, but it still allows us that emotional catharsis to see him grow up. He begins to accept more parts about himself. He finds a group of people that are able to accept him. And the thing that means the most to him is that Twilight loves him exactly the way he is. This is a story about Spike escaping assimilation, which is pretty ironic. This is the note I'm ending on when it comes to Spike, as our next character is about forcing assimilation onto other ponies. Starting off as a reoccurring antagonist, after her redemption, Starlight Glimmer is often considered to be the secondary protagonist of My Little Pony, and a more interesting protagonist than Twilight, but that is neither here nor there. Much like Applejack in my last video, Starlight Glimmer is a really easy character to adapt under an adult lens. Besides from the Energon Universe comics, another thing that particularly inspired me was Starlight's little panic attack at the beginning of the season 6 premiere.
Making friends with a griffin is a challenge all by itself. Or we could tag along with the CMCs the next time they try to help a pony who can't figure out why they're special.
It is particularly unique as an adult internal conflict. The deep-seated fear of needing to confront something that made you into a worse person is something that really stuck out to me. I'm just going to be changing 2 parts about her. The first is her origin. She becomes radicalized really differently. In this version, Starlight Glimmer's hometown of Sire's Hollow is a bit old and run down. It's really hard to leave a place like this. When Sunburst gets the amazing opportunity to go to Princess Celestia's school for gifted unicorns, Starlight Glimmer goes on a trip with him to the city of Canterlot. She experiences a form of culture shock seeing this high standard of living. She looks at their appearances and especially their cutie marks. Not a single laborer out there, just wealthy aristocrats. She sees these cutie marks as nothing more than a status symbol, the ultimate sign of inequality. Why does her home and family deserve less than them? This leads Starlight Glimmer down the path that creates her little commune. And by the time she's redeemed, she still holds on to some of her values. She still holds a socialist perspective and isn't afraid to critically challenge Princess Celestia, much to the dismay of Twilight. She's even willing to call out some of Twilight's bullshit, specifically her treatment of Trixie. If you can imagine, I was completely excited to do something with my favorite pony once again. I have talked about her countless times and I'm not stopping now. For Trixie, I wanted to do something a bit more complicated, find a line between her stage personality and her real self. The reason why the stage means so much to Trixie is because she is able to represent herself so unapologetically. She is Trixie, the goddamn great and powerful, and she'll let everyone in Equestria know it. That's why Trixie sometimes refers to herself in third person off the stage, because that is the performance that enables her to be the closest thing to her true self. She has an inflated ego, yes, but that often comes with the job of being a magician. It's a part of that entertainment value. The only time she does it intentionally is around Twilight, specifically to irritate her. I don't think I need to elaborate that this version of Trixie is trans. I already did that in 3 separate videos, even one very similar to this. But one thing I'm going to elaborate a bit more on is Starlight and Trixie's relationship. Hasbro has always been iffy on romance in My Little Pony, and especially queer romance. And one thing I would like to see is actual long-term queer relationships and not just something shoved at the end of the series. I have similar thoughts for Applejack and Rainbow Dash, but that's a story for a different video. These two are inherently interesting due to their flaws, as they've made great mistakes in their lives, so they find comfort in each other in that same mutual pain. You can really see the basis of complexity in their relationship in their very first episode together in No Second Prances, where after their first falling out, Trixie felt as if she had so little to lose that she tries to kill herself in public. I want to explore the not so pretty implications of their relationship, where despite the fact they make each other feel complete, they both experience immense emotional damage, something they both have to try to cope with together. Essentially, just give me my toxic Yuri, please. Next are 2 characters a lot of people in the comments of my last video really wanted me to talk about, Princess Celestia and Princess Luna. I'm talking about these two as a pair because they both deal with very similar themes, the consequences of immortality. Basically, if you're immortal, you will eventually do every sin and every good deed that has ever existed. This version of Celestia and Luna wouldn't have lived for thousands of years, they would have lived for millions of years. It impacts them in different ways, but Luna probably got it the worst. Luna's time as Nightmare Moon was completely sparked by pure insanity. She just simply couldn't take it anymore, and her tyrannical regime was fueled by her frustrations. She actually managed to get the one-up on Celestia and rule Equestria for a couple of months, until she was inevitably banished to the moon. But during that time where she basked Equestria in eternal darkness, she ended up creating a mass famine, one so bad that many of the ponies had to turn to cannibalism. Unfortunately for some of these ponies, even when the sun returned, their cravings didn't, developing some sort of version of mad cow disease. These ponies would escape from society and create their own faction, evolving into these soul-sucking changelings. What's a bit unnerving about Celestia and Luna is their surprising lack of guilt. They've experienced everything, and are simply unable to care as much as they should. They have an endless number of royal guards, and if there's a problem that requires a more magical solution, they often ask Twilight to do it. However, what makes them really interested in Twilight is her seemingly immense power despite being such a normal unicorn. That's probably what puts Celestia on track to make her the next heir of Equestria. Maybe a part of her test that made her a unicorn wasn't just the magical mystery cure, but also finding a way to reach inside of Celestia and pull out emotions she hadn't felt in years. To me, this is the ideal avenue not just to express existential concepts, but also the unique and complex in-universe politics of My Little Pony. I might have gone completely off the rails with this one, but I'm completely fine with it. The entire point of it is crazy hypotheticals, so why play it safe? And I really want you guys to go buck wild with this idea in the comments below. I really want you guys to just let loose and have fun. I would love to read your ideas. It can be characters I've already covered, characters I haven't, whatever. Who knows, maybe I'll even feature it in the next part of this series. If you want another part, that is, you will also have to let me know. Anyway, before I leave you guys off, I want to give 2 quick announcements. First of all, in 2026, you're going to be seeing a new series of uploads where I remaster some of my older content now that I'm more experienced. These are mostly audio fixes and the occasional visual fix. This is not going to affect the usual bi-weekly upload schedule. The second update concerns the My Little Pony Chronicles project. We are now looking for more voice actors as we are moving closer to cast recordings. If you're 16 and older and have any interest, please follow our vetting Discord server in the description below and submit any work you've already done. Anyway, that's all the time I have for today. Thank you so much for watching even though my voice is pretty messed up right now. Hopefully it will sound more natural by the next video. Anyway, I've been May and I'll see you next time.